Hello, dear children. How are you? I hope you all are doing well at home. Children, today I am going to teach you Standard 6 Social Studies, Chapter 1. In my previous class, children, we discussed about sources of history, archaeological sources, inscriptions, monuments, and coins. And today we will discuss about other objects and artifacts. So, let's continue the chapter. Other archaeological sources include numerous objects and artifacts found during excavations, such as tools, pieces of pottery, sculptures, paintings, ornaments, etc. They are used as supplementary sources to get additional information on the people who created them and the times in which they were made. Numerous Children, turn the page. Numerous terracotta figurines, bronze statuettes, and statuette seals lend credence to our historical understanding of the past. Now, archaeologists have ever started studying plant remains, animal bones, and food grains that have been found at different sites. The study of artifacts, including paintings, frescoes, and other objects of the past, enables us to draw an outline of the history of Indian art and usually offers a most illuminating commentary on the statements in books. Like the monuments, artifacts tell much which cannot be learned from books. They help us to have a comprehensive picture of the past. See children, ancient cave painting. Next we'll see literary sources. What are literary sources? Literary sources include the written records such as manuscripts and orally transformed information such as hymns and tales. Before the invention of paper, manuscripts were written on birch bark and palm leaves. These texts contain invaluable information about our past, and many of them throw extensive light on the social customs, institutions, classes, professions, practices, etc. Of other times, some of them describe various economic, scientific, and political developments, offering fresh insights into the past that no other source does. Written in Sanskrit, Pali, Prakrit, and Tamil, these manuscripts are now preserved mostly in monasteries of libraries. The literary sources may be divided into different types which are discussed below. Now we'll see what are the literary sources. Religious and secular sources. Literary texts on religious subjects are called religious literature. The Vedas, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, the Gita, the Puranas, and Jataka tales are most important sources of ancient Indian history. Literature which has no connection with religion is called secular literature. It includes poetry, drama, plays, accounts of foreign travelers, and works on science, grammar, and politics. The Arthashastra of Kautilya on theory of administration, Vishakha Datta's Mudra Rakshas, the literary masterpiece of Kalidasa, Banabhatta's Harsacharita, etc., are the examples of some secular library texts of ancient India. From such literary From such literature, we get information about the times when these were written. See children, this is a picture of Kautilya. Next, we'll discuss indigenous and foreign sources. Many foreign visitors came to India at different points of time. A number of Greeks accompanied Alexander the Great in his Indian campaign and recorded their observations. They observed our country's life, traditions, practices, and people very closely and recorded their experiences in the form of travelogues, memories, and accounts. Special mention can be made of the Indica by Megasthenes, who lived in the court of Chandragupta Maurya. It provides some very important information about the reign of Chandragupta Maurya, the Mauryan capital city of Pataliputra, and their society at that time. Besides Indica, Periplus of the Erythraean Sea by an unknown businessman and the Geography of India by Ptolemy are other well-known examples of ancient Greek writings on India. Other notable examples are the accounts of Chinese travelers Fahian, Huensha, and Tisung, who visited India in different periods. These are collectively called foreign literature. On the other hand, we have a vast bulk of literary texts written by Indian, which we call indigenous literature. There are detailed descriptions of Indian monarchs, places, objects, etc. in the writings of several Greek and Roman historians of the ancient period. They provide a very informative account of the conditions prevailing in the country at that time. Furthermore, the presence of various artifacts and materials of Indian origin suggests close links between our country and the outside world. In many cases where there was a need to fill the void due to the lack of evidence in the study of Indian history, these foreign sources have proved extremely useful. Literary sources with mysterious script. There are some ancient literary sources whose scripts have not been deciphered so far, so we are unable to understand what they contain. The Harappan script, which continues to be a historical riddle, can be cited as the most striking instance. The peculiarity of this script is the fact that in it one line is written left to right while the next line is written right to left. Such a script is called Vrustra. So children, here are some word meanings is given. Turn the page. Now we are on page number 12. What do you mean by archaeology? Scientific study of the material remains of the past like monuments, coins, pottery, ornaments, and various other subjects that are discovered through excavations conducted at various historical sites. Artifact: any object such as a tool or a work of art which is of archaeological interest. Epigraphy: scientific study of inscriptions. Manuscript: a handwriting text or document written in the past. Numismatics: scientific study of coins. Prehistory: the period before recorded history when people had no knowledge of reading or writing. Okay children, thank you.